The village wakes before the sun, not because it wants to, but because hunger has learned to tap the ribs from inside. Smoke curls thin and gray from cook fires that hold more memory than heat. The pots are empty. The rice jars whisper when opened. Nothing answers back. Mothers kneel on packed earth, knees numb, backs straight from habit. Bowls resting in their palms like offerings to a god that has gone quiet. A distant sound moves through the mist. Not thunder, not wind, footsteps, leather on stone. The low murmur of foreign voices. Children press into their mother's sleeves, fingers clutching cloth worn soft by washing and worry. The mothers do not look up. Looking up has brought only grief. They bow instead, foreheads hovering close to the ground, breath shallow, rehearsing what they have been taught to expect. Boots stop. Shadows fall across the bowls. A ladle dips. Metal kisses metal. Rice pours. White, steaming, alive with scent. It lands without asking. The sound is unbearable. One mother's hands begin to shake. Another's lips move, counting or praying, or apologizing to someone she cannot see. No blows come. No shouting. Only the quiet work of filling bowls. Again and again, until the air smells like life. Someone sobs. Someone kneels lower. And in that moment, the war changes shape. They were taught to fear the road more than the destination. The road meant capture. The road meant shame. The road meant things spoken only in whispers when children slept. So they walk slowly when the soldiers gesture forward, feet dragging through dust that coats their tongues. Each step feels like a mistake they cannot take back. Propaganda echoes louder than the boots. They will hurt you. They will laugh. Better to die than be touched. The words cling like burrs, sharper than hunger. One woman grips a hidden hairpin in her sleeve, fingers rubbing it raw, a small cold promise in case the stories prove true. But the road smells wrong for terror. It smells of gasoline, yes, but also soap, canned food, something sweet drifting from a truck. The soldiers do not shout. They point, wait, count heads like shepherds afraid of losing sheep. When a child stumbles, a hand reaches out, steady, careful, as if glass might shatter. Water appears. Tin cups, clear, real. A mother drinks and waits for punishment. None comes. At dusk, blankets are passed out, heavy, warm. The weight of them feels suspicious, almost insulting. How can war offer warmth? How can enemies move so gently? That night, lying under unfamiliar stars, one woman thinks if this is the trap, it is the strangest one in history. The building was once a school. You can still see the chalk ghosts on the walls, half-erased numbers, a crooked character for hope. Now it smells of dust and waiting. Bowls line the floor, chipped but clean, placed with care that feels unsettling. The women kneel behind them because no one tells them not to. The door opens. Light spills in, too bright, too sudden. Marines step through, filling the room with foreign shapes and unfamiliar weight. One of them looks barely older than a student who once sat here. Another adjusts his helmet, unsure, like a guest who has arrived too early. Silence stretches. Then the ladle moves. Rice falls into the first bowl. Steam rises, carrying a smell so rich it makes throats close. The second bowl fills. The third, no words, no commands. Just the sound, soft, steady, merciful. A woman gasps. Another presses her forehead to the ground, shoulders shaking. One Marine freezes, eyes wide, as if he has broken something sacred. He kneels, actually kneels, and slides the bowl closer. Careful not to spill a single grain. Hands tremble. Tears fall into the dirt. The women had prepared themselves to be crushed. Instead, they are fed. And that kindness, quiet, unannounced, hits harder than any blow. Food comes again the next morning. And the morning after that. Not as a miracle, but as a routine. And that is what unsettles them most. Rice is no longer a single moment to survive on, but a promise that repeats. Sometimes there is bread, soft enough to tear with fingers. Sometimes soup, warm and pale, steam fogging tired eyes. The mothers eat slowly, afraid the rhythm will break if they move too fast. Soap appears one afternoon, thick, white. It smells faintly of flowers that have not grown on this island in years. The women hold it like contraband, turning it over, unsure how something so gentle can exist inside war. When they wash, the water darkens, carrying away layers of dirt and months of fear. Some scrub too hard, some cry without knowing why. The soldiers speak little, but their actions speak constantly. They wait their turn. They look away to give privacy. They say nothing when bowls are refilled a second time. At night, whispers move between blankets. Why are they doing this? Is this another weapon? Gratitude rises, heavy and uncomfortable, pressing against old loyalties. Kindness, they learn, is not soft. It is sharp. It cuts through lies and leaves wounds of its own. The letters arrive folded too many times, as if the paper itself is afraid of what it carries. Some are smudged, others incomplete, sentences ending where cities once stood. They speak of firestorms, of homes erased, of an emperor who no longer speaks like a god. The mothers read in silence, mouths pressed thin, the past collapsing quietly in their laps. At the same time, life in the camp grows gentler. Children laugh more easily, their cheeks round. A soldier teaches a boy a foreign word and laughs when it comes out wrong. The sound feels dangerous. Joy always does in wartime. This is the real battle. Not guns, not orders, but the slow erosion of everything they were taught. Each filled bowl, each careful gesture, chips away at certainty. Gratitude tangles with shame. If the enemy treats them as human, what does that mean about the stories they believed? About the deaths that came before? One mother writes in a hidden notebook, her hand steady despite the storm inside her. They do not break us. They unmake the lie. And that, she realizes, is harder to survive than hunger. The announcement does not arrive with drums or flags. It comes folded into a sentence, spoken calmly, almost gently, repatriation. The word drifts through the camp and settles uneasily in the women's chests. Home, return, as if those places still exist in the way. Memory insists they should. Packing takes longer than it should. Not because there is much to gather, but because every object has learned how to speak. A blanket still holds the warmth of nights without bombs. A tin cup remembers clean water. One mother lifts her rice bowl, the same one that first broke her expectations, and turns it slowly in her hands. The glaze is thin. The rim is chipped. It is perfect. She wraps it in cloth and does not ask permission. On the final morning, the air feels suspended, as if the island itself is holding its breath. The Marines stand in a loose line. No orders are barked. No weapons raised. Faces look younger than she remembers. One soldier rubs his neck, another stares at the ground, uncertain where to place his eyes. The women pass between them. A mother stops. She kneels, not in surrender, not in fear, in acknowledgement. The gesture moves faster than thought. Her forehead lowers, her hands press to the earth. For a moment, the war becomes very small, contained in this space between breath and silence. A Marine reacts instinctively. He bows back, awkward, off balance, helmet tipping forward. Someone inhales sharply. Someone laughs once, then covers their mouth. Years later, her son will ask when the war truly ended. She will not mention the emperor, or the surrender, or the flags. She will remember the sound of rice falling into a bowl, the way her hands trembled, the way kindness arrived without asking. The war ended, she will say, when I learned the enemy could be human. And that truth will stay with her longer than fear ever did.